Thanks for tuning in to SUTV Sports coverage of the red and white game. I'm Tom Calamer.
And I'm Holly Hare. Coming up, we have exclusive interviews with past and present Red Raiders, as well as an outlook on this coming season with Coach Mack. It's all right now. Well, Tom, it's hard to believe another offseason has come and passed already.
It is hard to believe, but the Raiders have been putting work in on and off the field this season. Before we get into what the team has been doing on the field, we want to highlight what the team has been up to off the turf. Community service has always been a staple of Raider athletics. Last year, the team participated in several community service events around Shippensburg.
Together, they logged over 1,000 service hours. Giving back will continue to be a tradition for the Raiders. Speaking of traditions, Raider athletes have excelled in the classroom as well. The team averaged a 2.7 GPA last season, closing in on their goal of 3.0. A true freshman recorded the highest GPA of the team at 3.8.
Justin Pyle was also named the Capital One All-District First Team after last season. Pyle held a 3.3 GPA while also balancing time behind the pocket as a running back and a quarterback. The Raiders have been spending time perfecting their game on the field. SUTV's Tyler Baldwin tells us more.
The Raiders will kick off the 2015 season today. The team returns to Seth Grove Stadium for the red and white game and a chance to showcase off-season work.
Big part of it is for the players and the coaches and everybody just to make sure we're working really hard, whether it's in the weight room, spring practice drills, in the classroom, all that kind of stuff. And really, developing relationships and the team building process is big for us right now, making sure everybody's on the same page. And, ultimately it comes down to work ethic and working hard to make sure this family is successful on and off the field.
Coach Mack also had a chance to reflect on the recruiting process and this year's recruit class.
I think they're all very good. We were able to do something a little bit different this year when it came to recruiting. We were able to do some drills and agility and things with them when they came on campus, and it really helped us to identify some really quality young men. So we're excited about the recruiting class, and I know they're excited about being Red Raiders.
Young players will have a chance to step up since there are plenty of shoes to fill.
Key losses, you have to look at, Trevor Harmon as number one, big-time receiver who hopefully has a future in football ahead of him. You got Brian Sorber at linebacker. You got James Brennan at linebacker. And there's a handful of guys all over the place. Alex Colgan at tight end. Blair Brooks at running back, so we lost some really good players last year who did a great job in their career at Shippensburg. But ultimately, we got some guys that are going to have to step up, and we're excited about some of our young guys, it comes down to this. It's just the next man up type of deal. We got some quality young men, and I'm excited to what happens here as spring concludes, and then we start preseason in August and see who really steps up to the plate. And it's wide open here. There's some front runners, but it's wide open.
Even though the lineup has changed, expectations for this season have not.
Our expectations they don't change. We want to be winners on and off the field. The biggest thing we talk is we want to compete every play. And everything that we do, we want to compete. We want to do the best of our ability. So expectations are high. They're always high in this program, and that's the way we want to keep it.
For SUTV News, I'm Tyler Baldwin.
You heard Mack talk about the loss of Trevor Harmon. After the break, I'll be sitting down with Trevor to talk about his football future. Stay tuned.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
All-American wide receiver Trevor Harmon. Trevor, thank you for being here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since graduation in December?
So it's been a very busy process, what's been happening right now. I went to Arizona the beginning of February, I think, maybe the end of January, to go out there and train. I was out there for 1 week with 15 other athletes that are training for going through the same exact process that I am. Then I had the opportunity to play in an all-star game down in Texas. So I went down there for a week, and then I was back in Arizona for another 5 weeks where I finished up my training. So
lots of running around.
Lots of running around, lots of flights, lots of sitting around. It's been a great experience, though, and a humbling one.
Are you able to reflect kind of on your time at Chip, and what kind of support have you been getting from Coach Mack and everybody back home? Tons
of support. The whole time that I was out there, I was always receiving texts, phone calls, everything like that. Everyone's asking me how it's going. Mm-hmm. Everyone's seeing what's going on. So as I was driving down here to Shippensburg today and being on campus, this is probably the first time I've been on campus. It's been a sad moment. It's also been a surreal moment, but very blessed to have the opportunity that I have ahead of me right now.
Definitely. What was it like playing in the Gridiron Showcase, and how do you think you kind of rank up against the other players, being a Division II player?
Definitely, and I was actually very nervous about being a Division II player.
Sure.
I was one of 3. There wasn't many of us that were there. Mm-hmm. The other 2 were actually on the defensive side of the football, so I was the only one on the offense, and I was actually really nervous when I first went into it, just because these receivers that were there, they're from LSU,
right.
Texas, all over the place, these big Division I schools that you hear about. So at first I was really nervous, but then as soon as I started calming down and got like my cleats back underneath me, then I was good to go.
Kind of needed a second to
exactly.
get your ground going.
Exactly.
What is your ideal situation if all goes to plan and you are headed in the right direction? Where do you see yourself?
Getting drafted, and the draft's at the end of the month, so if things go well, which things are going very well right now, then we should be able to. And if not, then we'll test free agency. And the free agency is kind of nice because then you can decide where you want to go. So it's kind of like going to college where you could choose your college. This time you can choose your pro team. So there's different things that are going to have to happen, but it should be an interesting journey.
Cool. What has been your most recent step towards the draft, and what are you expecting leading up to it?
So right now we're just expecting hopefully some private workouts. Private workouts, it's not really it's a boom or bust kind of thing for private workouts. It's something that if you don't get them, then it's okay. So hopefully we can get those, but I have a couple years of film that will really, really help, so that some guys don't have.
Definitely.
So that's why if private workouts come my way, that would be great.
So talking about draft day, what will you be doing on draft day?
So we've actually thrown this idea around a lot. The draft is a 3-day process.
Right.
It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So and Saturday is like the real big day where there's 4 rounds that happen. And then also that's when free agency is decided, priority free agents, all that kind of stuff. So I think we're gonna have a little draft party at my house on Saturday. We're gonna gonna have some friends, a bunch of friends over. Mom's gonna cater. We're gonna get some drinks as well, and it should be a good time.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for being here with us, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me.
back to you guys.
Harmon joined several other players from last season, hoping to continue their football career. Former defensive end Jake Metz is taking his talents indoors. Metz signed an Arena Football League contract with the Philadelphia Soul. Zach Zulli will be in the pocket for Lehigh Valley Steelhawks next season. The Steelhawks compete in the Professional Indoor Football League. While Metz and Zulli begin their careers, some Ship alumni have already been making a name for themselves. Green Bay Packer John Kuhn and Miami Dolphins Brent Grimes have both represented Shippensburg in NFL Pro Bowl games. As those players move on, new players move in. Coming up after the break, I'll sit down with center TJ Smink, who will give us an inside look at this year's Red Raiders team.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfire.
Our special guest here today is starting offensive lineman for the Red Raiders, TJ Smick. TJ, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So why don't we start off with telling us a little bit about how the offseason's been going for the team?
This offseason started back in December. We came off a loss to Mercyhurst. It's not how we wanted to go, so we came out with a chip on our shoulder. And when we came back from winter break, we went right into morning runs and lifts. And the coaches have been telling us that this is the most excited that they've been in the weight room ever since they've been here. So things have been going good so far.
All right. Well, speaking of the weight room, how much time have you guys been spending in there?
We're normally in there about 3-4 times a week, not including all the time that we're on the field. But we're really getting after it, and a lot of guys are making good pushes in the weight room.
Yeah. How about on the field then? After the weight room, you guys been doing a lot of stuff on field too?
Yeah, we started practice right before spring break and all the way up to now. A lot of guys have stepped up in big positions where we needed them, and a lot of the younger guys, they're learning the plays very well. And we're coming together as an entire team, entire group.
That's good. So what's the atmosphere been like for the team so far?
It's been exciting, to say the least. So far, everybody's been, running around to the ball. Everybody's excited. Everybody's like, big hit or good block. We've had a ton of touchdown runs, but we've also had a lot of people coming through. Both sides are looking very good, and everybody's starting to come together in their own.
Yep. Does it look like the guys are ready to go? Everybody seems to be prepared and ready to have a good time for this season?
Oh, yeah. So far, everything's been going great. Everybody's going to get a good show today, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far everything's been going as well as it could have. We lost some seniors last year, and a lot of the guys that came back, they've stepped up in the positions that we need them to. So, should be a good season.
Have there been any changes this offseason? Any big changes in the coaching? And I know you had just said about losing some seniors, but with the kids coming in for freshmen this year, have there been any big changes on the offense?
Yeah, we actually lost our offensive coordinator. He decided to take a job at another school. So our running backs coach stepped up and took offensive coordinator, and our wide receivers coach came in and took the quarterback's position. So they've been mixing and matching everything, and we've been running the same offense just a little bit differently, and I think it's even more efficient than it was last season.
Well, that's good. So you do feel that it's been a better offense so far, what you've been practicing than last year?
I believe so. Last year we had a very good year offensively, and this year I think we're going to get off and running just as we did last year. It's going to be great.
That's good. Do you have any personal goals for the season that you want to speak of?
Personally, I mean, I'm an offensive lineman, so I mean, we always want a 1,000-yard rusher. So, and we've got 2 backs coming back this year. They got a lot of time last year, and if we can get both of them up there on the all-PSAC list, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I believe it. Do you have any big expectations for the team?
Last year we ended the season 6-5, and that's not where we wanted to be. So we're hoping to improve on that record, and our personal goal, I mean, every year we want to make it to PSACs, and then from there we also want to make it to the national championship, but it's step by step along the way.
Are there certain players or positions that you have been noticing that have seemed to improve over last year?
Yeah, we lost their senior Trevor Harmon last year at wide receiver group, and a lot of those guys have stepped up and taken a lot of reps. Jordan Harrow, Mike Brown, they've been leading the way for the guys, and I think they're all going to step up real big. I think they're going to lead the team this year.
That's good. How about some improvements on your own game, the way that you play? You feel that you've improved any from last year?
Yeah, I think so. Me personally, I've gotten stronger in the weight room along with the rest of the O-line. And coming back, we've got 4 guys on the O-line who had a lot of experience last year. So we're more of a tighter knit group because we didn't lose that many people. So we've got that chemistry going. So we know how to talk to each other. So I think we'll be able to run the ball efficiently this year.
That's good. Well, TJ, thanks a lot for being here today. Good luck today, and good luck on this season.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
So we've heard from a coach, a former player, and a current player. That wraps it up here in the studio. Let's send it to Seth Grove Stadium for the 2015 Red and White game.
Guys, it's been a fun first half, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's been a great day to get back to the football field and to see what next season has in store for us.
Yes, now the players on the team have been working very hard, but so has the band. And with me I have right now drum major Mike Powers. Hi Mike, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So Mike, how's the band feeling today?
Oh, we're feeling great. Every time we're in the Seth Grove Stadium, we always feel fantastic.
Oh, perfect. So have you guys started preparing for next season?
Oh, we have. We're still in the works for our field show for next year. I can't give too much away, but it's definitely going to be exciting. It's going to be energetic. It's going to be a great thing to see.
Okay, so now how big do you expect the band to be?
Well, this past season we were 168 members, so right now we're looking at between 170 and 180 this year, so we're really excited about that.
Wow, now if somebody would want to get involved with the band, how can they?
Well, you can either come talk to me, find me on campus if you're on campus, or you can contact our band director, Trevor Famulari.
All right, well thank you Mike. Have a great season.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so just as the band is testing its new leadership, so is the football team.
Coach Max has been watching this game closely. So Coach Mack, what have you seen so far today?
Well, the guys are flying around. You know, we're making some mistakes getting lined up. We're playing a lot of young guys today, and it's first time out really, you know, in a game atmosphere. So they had a little bit of jitters, but, you know, things are going well, and they're having a lot of fun.
That's great. So normally throughout the season, you make adjustments at halftime. Do you plan on doing any of that today?
Yeah, the coaches right now, we talked on the headphones a little bit about some of the things we want to do in the second half. You know, we want to try to do a lot in this game just as far as formations and calling defenses, giving different looks just so we get used to doing it.
That's great. Thanks, Coach Mack.
Okay, thanks. All right, guys, come here. Two.
Perfect.
Am I good?
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So as you heard with the Coach Mack interview, he was mentioning that, the kids are out here to have fun, of course. It's a really nice day to come out and play some football. Just trying to get the feel for the new season that's going to be coming up. And he mentioned that formation is what they're just trying to work on right now with the new players.
Right. I mean, and he's right, though. They're here to play the game. They're having fun. It looks like they're having a good time doing it. You saw that high step into the end zone from the defensive lineman when he had the fumble. They're having a great time. But at the same time, like you said, formation. You got new guys filling in new positions. They need to learn the offense. They need to learn how to execute the plays. Overall, I think they're doing a great job, and I think the coaching staff is doing a great job running this game.
Absolutely. A couple names that you heard a lot throughout the first half. Number 30 is McDermott, and then number 20 is Ford, getting a lot of reps at the running back position. So I think that might be something that you want to look forward to going into the new season.
Absolutely. You're definitely going to want to look forward to that. They're going to use multiple running backs. We mentioned in the pregame that Justin Pyle is still out with an injury. However, he won't be the only running back when he returns. Clearly, we see that we have plenty of guys to fill in, and that's going to confuse the defense, and I think it's going to be really good for the Raiders' offense.
Of course, they need all the running backs they can get. Pyle already with a few concussions. One more. I was talking to him earlier in the season, and he was saying one more, his career could be over. So letting these other players get some reps is key. So as we look forward to the second half of this 2015 Red-White Spring game, be sure to tune back in with us after half.
So as much as this game is about looking ahead in the future of the team, it's a lot of fun for former players to come back and get a look at next year's team. I have some former Red Raider players, so guys, could you go down and introduce yourself and tell what positions you played?
My name is Trevor Harmon, and I play wide receiver.
I'm James Brennan, and I was a linebacker.
My name is Jake Metz, play defensive end.
I'm Brian Sorber, I played outside linebacker.
So guys, what's it like being back here at Seth Grove?
Well, we were actually standing out there in the parking lot. We were talking about it. It's a surreal moment, but it's something that we really appreciate. Something that we were blessed with the opportunity to be able to play for this great establishment and play for this great team. It's something that we really cherish. But it's great to be back. But we would rather be out there than in the parking lot.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Very different aspect being up in the stands than rather down and playing on the field.
It's great. I mean, just seeing family and stuff. It's great to be back. All these guys are family, and it's different on the other side of the fence for sure. So.
Yeah, it's definitely great. Some of the young guys and everything, seeing them out here and cheering them on from obviously a different perspective, and just seeing all the work they put in all winter and stuff. It's good to see it paying off a little bit.
All right, so Trevor, we talked to you during pregame, but what have the rest of you been up to since you've left?
I've actually been working at Wright Restoration, just doing some restoration work, and also been searching for a job. Meanwhile, I have an interview on Monday, I guess.
So no more football?
No more football, unfortunately.
Since I left, I went to rookie camp with the Detroit Lions and came back, and now I'm actually playing for the Philadelphia Soul. So just chasing my dreams.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I've hung up the cleats a little bit as well. Pretty much, for good. I'm working. I have a steady career going right now, so that just kind of focusing on that.
He's working that 9 to 5, which is lovely for him.
All right, so can you guys talk a little bit about what you've seen on the field, positives, negatives, things that are good, things that you need to improve on for the fall?
Definitely. These guys have, I know whenever we were playing here, you always work in the off season. You do all that running stuff, and the whole time you're sitting here, you're beating on each other the whole off season. Good Lord. So these guys they're always beating on each other. So whenever you come out here for the spring game, it's something nice that it's actually a great game atmosphere. Now, the scrimmage that you have on Saturdays, it's always the coaches are out there, and if a bad play breaks down or anything, they stop the play. But at least now here, there's no stoppage, there's nothing like that. So it's definitely nice to get out there, and these guys look really good. So bright things coming next season.
Anything from you? Defensive, anything?
It's nice to see the defensive tackles are doing pretty well, experienced that position. And we got Allen anchoring down the linebackers right now, and 2 young freshmen right next to him.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, these guys look young, but they definitely look good, and there's definitely going to be good things to come, so it's going to be great to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to see the young guys getting after it as well. So.
All right, now, Trevor, you are one of the most decorated Red Raider receivers. What do you think of the guys making the grabs out there?
Yeah, right now, they're doing an outstanding job. Brady Forney's made a couple plays over the middle. Karan Kent is back, which is awesome for them. Sheldon Mayer right now is he's taking a little time of leave. But Karan Kent, we got to play together 2 years ago, and that's a receiver that's not about himself, he's on the team, so he wants to be out there. He wants to win more than anything. But he's also an outstanding receiver. So between him, Shell, and also Jordan Harrell, Brady Forney making some plays, they're doing well. They're doing really, really well. They're picking up the offense well, and it's going to be a great season for them.
Now, since you guys have hung up your pads either for this team or in general permanently, have you seen anything different since you've come back? I know there's been some changes in coaching staff since you've left, but has it been kind of almost the same team, same way, or do you see a new change coming?
Definitely. I mean, these guys out here right now, this is the team that you're going to have next season. Now, granted, maybe a few freshmen will play here and there, but that's not a likely thing. So these guys that you're seeing out there, I mean, that's going to be the team that's going to represent the Raiders in 2015. Now, granted, yeah, they did have a new offensive coordinator. They just got rid of a great offensive coordinator in Coach Davis, but they also have Coach Morgan now. Coach Morgan has been in this system for a long time, and they switched up the offense a little bit back to what we used to do in 2012, and everyone knows that 2012 year when we were an outstanding team that year. So I think they're going to piggyback off of that. They're going to be great this year.
Good. Yes.
I think it feels the same. Not going to lie, coming back here, the smell of the field, just being with the guys and looking at everything, it's the same feel, and it's definitely a great feeling just to be here. Yeah.
I agree with Coach Mack team. You're going to get kind of the same, different guys, same type of effort and type of, putting forward everything they got on the field every Saturday or, spring game, whether it be the spring game or next season as well. Whether it's going to be the same guys, different guys coming back every year, you're going to get the same type of team every year that just goes out and plays hard, kind of blue-collar guys and just puts everything forward, everything they have every game. So
now, if you could give one quick piece of advice to the team or a specific person in general that's on the team right now, what would you give them?
At this point, I would say trust it. I know a lot of these guys are probably thinking, oh, why are we doing this? Why do we switch everything up from – now, granted, this has been the third or fourth change in the past 5 years probably, and it's probably one of those things that people are like, oh, why are we switching it up? Why are we doing this? Well, you know what? The coaches have that foresight that this is what's going to work, this is what we're going to do. So I would just say trust it and believe in these coaches that they will get you to the promised land.
What about you?
Don't second guess it. If you see something, just go. It's 100% effort all the time. If you don't know what you're doing, just go. Go at it.
Yeah.
I would tell these guys just love the game. There's so long of a time in your lifetime where you can play the greatest game in the world, and just to be able to be a collegiate athlete and just to put the pads on, it's just something you should always cherish.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all these guys. If you just put everything into it and just give it 100 every single time you step on the field, you put everything in, you're gonna get everything out of it and have a great time while you're here.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
So let's send it back up to the booth for the second half.
Coming into the second half of this 2015 red and white spring game, I'm going to be working with my new partner, Zach Salzgiver. Zach, what did you see from the first half of play?
The defenses really showed that they were dominating today. You had the scoop and score early and the pick late. The white defense really played well, and that's why I think they're ahead right now. It's really been the front seven in the run game. They've been shutting it down and doing a good job of coming up and plugging all the holes.
I think Red's going to have to come out fast-paced and try to figure out a way to break through this white defense, who's been phenomenal. Of course, they have that scoop that you had said earlier. They already have a pick, and not to take anything away from Ryan Martin, who's 20 for 33 with a touchdown and a pick. Of course, he's been sacked 5 times and he's thrown for 207 yards. So he's doing well. I think he just needs to keep his composure in the pocket. He's been forced out a lot, majority of the time, by the white defense, and he's been forced to throw on the run.
Yeah, he started off a little slow trying to get timing down with his receivers, but as the half went on, he really started to heat up and find his receivers. McDermott really started to run the ball really well at the end of the half, too. He had that long screen play, too. So I think if they get when you're running a fast-paced offense like the Red Raiders do, you have to put plays together. You have to have successful first downs. And once you have success on first down, you can run your offense, and it opens up the playbook a lot more.
A key receiver that's playing for both teams is number 84, the wide receiver Paris Marshall, who has 5 receptions for 47 yards. He's been a big target. Not only is he getting the screens, but the big passes that Martin wants to throw downfield, it looks like Marshall has been his key receiver.
Yeah, one of the things I thought he really did well in the first half was finding the soft spots in the zones. He was going over the middle, and he was sitting down in between the linebackers and allowing Martin to find him in the middle. And, it's been big. They're just, getting down the field. And then there was that one big play by Brady Forney down the field where he climbed the ladder to go get that ball.
Yeah, Martin I think he needs to keep his composure. He's trying to force the ball a lot, and which is where that interception came. And there was one towards the end of the half. If you were tuned in with us, that was right in the corner that was picked off, but unable to keep the feet in bounds. So we got lucky on that. But I think he just needs to keep his field vision clear and composed, and not try to force anything.
Yeah, it has to be hard for him because he's switching between receivers and both teams all the time. And the line, they haven't really held up the way that you'd want them to at this point to protect that quarterback. He's really been running around and trying to create stuff, and you'd like to see him be able to settle in the pocket, and maybe getting that screen game up and going will stop that pass rush a little bit, hold them back, make them second guess, and get things going.
So we're gonna be tuning back in here in a couple of minutes, but right now we're gonna send it down to the field to Lucy and Holly.
All right, thank you. Louis DeSanto is here on the sideline with us. So Lou, you've been up in the booth commentating. What are your thoughts of the game?
I'm seeing a lot of good things. I'm also seeing a lot of things that they can work on. We have a young quarterback in there with Martin. Him and his receivers need to get on the same page a little bit. I don't think he knows his own strength yet, but there's also some great things. He's throwing off his front foot. He has this fundamental sound. I'm also seeing that the defense is playing fantastic. The defensive line is crashing the pocket. The linebackers are all over the place. And from what I've seen, the defensive back have been covering the receivers because the pass hasn't been really working too well. But there's some things to work on, but there's also some great things.
Now, what are your projections for the fall for this team?
I think they're going to do very well. I think there's new players filling in big shoes, but overall I think it's going to be a great season for them.
All right, well, thank you, Lou. Send it back to you guys.